Shalom. This video is about the Roman and Greek pagan roots of today's Seder and the various customs. And it's interesting to see that Judaism took the high culture around it, what it saw, Greek and Roman fancy dinners, and it incorporated it. Now, if you're really interested, go to the Mishnah, the tractate Pesachim in the Seder of Moed, and read chapter 10, and you'll see the ancient roots of the Seder from 2,000 years ago. But I just want to go through some of the main items. For example, the idea of matzah, charoset, and chazeret. According to the Tosefta, Shamash dips the entrails in salt water and serves the guests. While there's a 5th and 4th century BCE banquet, in the writing says there in the Greeks, the slaves set before us the sweetest morsels of entrails. Now, in terms of reclining, the Mishnah tells us to recline, but Athenaeus, in the time of Homer, says men still feast sitting, but gradually they slid from chairs to couches, taking as their ally relaxation and ease. Whenever you see a documentary about ancient Rome, you see the fancy people kind of eating their dinners on their sides, lying on couches. Now, in terms of the 4 cups of wine, well, according to a 4th century BCE source, Antiphanes said that one should honor the gods by the extent of 3 cups of wine. All right, so we drink 4, and you can interesting about why we went from 3 to 4. But in any case, the Greeks would, at their dinners, have a lot of several cups of wine to honor the gods. Now, in terms of washing the hands, we have 2 washings during the Seder, one with a blessing, one without a blessing. And the Hebrew word is netilat yadayim. They picked up the water on the hands. Several Jewish scholars say this is a translation of a Greek idiom, which means to take water on the hands. Now, in terms of chazeret, some of your Seder plates have 5 spots, some have 6. The one that's sometimes not there is chazeret, which is the lettuce. And according to Athenaeus, again, 200 CE, Rabbi Yehuda's contemporary, the one who edited the Mishnah, mentions lettuce 7 times in his Learned Banquet, an encyclopedic compilation about Greek and Roman food and drink. So that was quite often eaten. Now, charoset, which is the sweet mixture we make to look like the mortar they used to make the bricks. There's a debate about whether it's a mitzvah to eat it or not. The Mishnah says that charoset was eaten at banquets all year long with flour. And Athenaeus, again, this Greek writer, describes dishes at length, when you should serve them, and this particular dish. And another fellow, a physician of the 1st century BCE, recommending eating charoset as appetizers rather than as dessert. Now, in terms of Hillel's sandwich, Hillel used to eat a sandwich of paschal lamb, matzah, and maror. Today we don't eat, of course, the paschal lamb. Similarly, the Greeks and Romans used to eat sandwiches of bread and lettuce. Now, the afikomen is interesting. Professor Saul Lieberman in 1934 finally told us what the afikomen is. Afikomen, for the Greeks, at the end of their dinners, they would go out and they would try and get their guests to participate in lascivious festivals. He refers to the Greek apikomen. At the climax of the symposium, the revelers used to leave their house and barge into another house and force the family to join in merrymaking. The Mishnah is saying that this particular Hellenistic custom may not be done after the eating of the paschal lamb. And for us, of course, it's the matzah. And then in terms of literary forms of the Seder and the Gada, also, if you read, all you have to do is read kind of Plato's Symposium, and you see the idea of the Socratic method, questions and answers. Those are some of the interesting parallels from Greek and Roman culture that we have in the Seder today. And I think what's fascinating is to learn that just like in so many areas of Judaism, we haven't turned our backs on the modern culture, the popular culture. We Judaize it. And it becomes so much a part of Jewish culture. In the same way that Judaism has contributed so much of what we consider basic to Western civilization today comes from Judaism and the Hebrew Bible, not just cute Yiddish terms. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. Shalom.